Recording in progress.
Way to come to a comfortable seat, but where you have a tall spine and can really press your feet into the floor, sit up tall. I like to almost treat it like it's a checklist, starting from the ground up, checking in with my feet, maybe wiggling my toes on the surface that my feet are touching. And then taking a couple of seconds to say hello to your calves and thighs. Noticing the way the chair is holding you up and supporting you. When you get to the spine, just imagining that each little vertebra is stacking one on one until you have this nice, tall, supportive structure to lift you up skyward. Noticing if there's any tension in your body, and if there's something that you could do about it, go ahead and take that opportunity. Like for me, it's usually that my shoulders and neck are kind of stiff, and I give them a little bit of movement. And then the hands come to rest somewhere in the lap that feels comfortable, and you can close your eyes. Spending a few moments where there's nothing on the agenda other than watching your breathing. Noticing how it feels to breathe. Treating each in-breath as if you've never breathed before and you're so curious about the process and what it feels like. As we sit here and breathe, go ahead and place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And just take a few natural breaths for a couple of moments. Just noticing what your breathing pattern tends to be. Some of us breathe a lot in the chest, some of us more in the belly. For some of us, it's a little of both, and you can just notice which part first. You detect any little motions in the movement. Like for me, sometimes it feels a little bit like one of those ocean waves, like there's a crest and then it falls. Making your own observations about the breath. And how it all feels for you. So with this last few moments, no matter what your natural breathing pattern is, take 3 big breaths into your chest, letting it lift up to the sky. Noticing how this type of breathing makes you feel. And then finishing it off with 3 big breaths in your belly. Yeah, noticing how this type of breathing makes you feel. And then letting it go. Let your breath go back to whatever pace feels natural. And here we go. Inhale, reach skyward. Let's start to move. Flip your palms. Exhale, bring them on back down. A couple more times. As you go, pretending that you could reach in all directions until you're making this big circular drawing with your fingertips. Next time your hands are up high, leave them there, and then join me in bringing the elbows down toward about shoulder height, lifting your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you. Inhale, reach on back up. Exhale, try it again. You might even lean back a little bit if it calls out to you. One more. Lovely. Bringing the hands to the top of the shoulders, draw some big circles with your elbows. Take it the other way. Alrighty, so hands on your knees, around your back, tuck your chin. Forward once more, slide your hands along the thighs, look up, squeezing your shoulder blades together just a little. Exhale, round. Back and forth. One more. Lovely. Okay, let's warm up like the twisting motion in our body. So we keep our legs steady and still while we do this. Is all the actions happening in the upper body. Let's just gently sway back and forth. Doing the movements that call out to you that feel right. Start maybe small. And then after, as it starts to feel better, maybe the movements get a little bit bigger, maybe you twist a little further, maybe even look behind you. And slowly come on back to center, let it go. So the only thing we've missed is warming up the side body a little bit. So let's do that by pressing down toward the floor with one hand while we reach up and over with the other. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, try it the other way. Couple more. Time to feel that little tug of stretch in our side. So you may need to like really reach through the fingertips or bend deeply, whatever helps bring that stretch into focus for you. Last one. Lovely. Okay. So I thought we'd spend plenty of time on the upper body today. A lot of times we sort of skip the upper body or take the time to focus on it. So let's take that opportunity today. We'll do all of the upper body stretches that we touch on sometimes, but really linger on them. So let's start with the neck, and we'll do the long version of our stretches for the neck. So this starts with warming it up. So to do that, we take our nose up toward the sky, and we're going to take it around in this big circular motion. But my only word of warning about this is sometimes it makes people feel like crunchy or clicky in the neck. And if that's the case for you, then just skip this one and maybe go back to shoulder shrugging or doing those like bat wing type shoulder movements. So if you're with me here though, with the neck warm up, take your nose to the sky and then just let it sweep around in a big circle, almost like you're following the hand on a clock face. A few times around in one direction. You can already start to notice the places in your body where your little areas of tightness are gathering. I know that's certainly the case for me. I already feel it. And go ahead and take your circles counterclockwise. Hopefully here in a moment, we're going to go back in and work out all those little kinked up spots. Lovely. Okay, sending your nose back up. Take the right ear down towards your right shoulder. Reach away with the left fingertips. And sometimes I either hold it or kind of move my fingers around a little bit until I find just the right spot. The other option here is that you can ever so gently rest your right hand on the side of your head. It's not really pulling, but it just that little extra weight makes the stretch feel even more deep. So last moment or two, really reaching, really stretching, finding your spot. So your head is going to stay in the same place, but the hands can come and rest in the lap. And then let's slowly start to nod our head up and down. So the nose points down toward the earth and then back up, maybe even skyward if that feels good. Trying to keep your shoulders sort of down while we do this. They have a tendency to hunch up. And the next time your nose is pointed down to the earth, keep it there and then find some little movement. So maybe you're conducting an orchestra with the tip of your nose or drawing little figure eights. Last moments. Let it go. Bring your head back to the center line. We're going to stretch the underside of the neck before we move to the other side. So this is the one where we give ourselves like an underbite. We jut our teeth out and then lift your chin up toward the sky. So it looks a little something like this. Teeth out and then lift. You can play around with whether pressing your hands toward the earth on either side helps. Lovely. Bring it on back in. Let's try the left side. Left ear down toward the shoulder. Reach away with the right fingertips and either kind of gently explore or just hold it there. Bringing this left hand to rest ever so gently on the side of your head. Keep breathing. Hands come on back in, nodding your head slowly down toward the earth and then back up. Okay. Next up, with that chin tucked toward the floor, finding those little tiny movements to make with the tip of your nose. All right, so letting that go, bringing it all back in, shrugging the shoulders a couple of times, big circles with them. So go ahead and reach across your body with your right hand and give yourself a little bit of a shoulder massage. I think it feels even better if you slip your hand in your shirt and get skin on skin. And so what I'm doing here to make the shoulder massage is sort of gently rolling through my fingers, like I'm playing a piano keys really slowly. You'll find the places that feel good. They'll let you know. Okay, we'll try that on the other side. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to stretch the connection here for between our pecs and our arms. And this one's a little weird, so got to listen closely because it won't look like much from the outside. Put your hands behind your head, and then we're sending the elbows back while we press the hands into the back of the head. So it's like hands pressing into the back of the head, elbows back, and then maybe even trying to lift the chest a little bit. And holding. See how that feels? Okay, let it go. Let's go back to our cat cows for a few moments and then linger on them. So rounding your back, tucking your chin, and then bringing the chest forward, sliding your hands back a couple of times, and then we'll find a hold. So for our hold and cow, you can either interlace your fingers behind you or grab your chair back there somewhere and lift your chest up. Breathing and holding here. Lovely. And then for our hold for the upper body, let's go ahead and get started into the hands, which is what we're going to do next. And so we'll do a little bit of a combination here. So give me a couple of popcorn fingers. And then a couple of wrist circles one way. And then the other way. Hopefully you're feeling that warmth trickle down. It's almost like it just trickles down your arms into the forearms. Okay. So then interlace your fingers and then flip your palms and press forward up to me. So we'll combine that with a little bit of a cat back. So rounding your back, tucking your chin, and then pressing the palms forward. Okay, come on back up. Let your hands untwist. And then we're going to tie them in a different kind of knot. So hands out in front, take the right hand and cross it over. Cross your hands and then flip your palms. Grab hands with yourself and then take the hands in toward you and pull them through. So if you have really loose wrists, this may not feel like anything. But for those of you who don't, you might feel a little bit of stretch along here or stretch along here, just depending. I think I just messed mine up. There we go. Wrong way. Couple of more moments. All right, so unwind it. Let go with the hands. This time, left hand goes on top. Flip your palms, grab a hold of your hands, and then tuck them back through again. Holding hands with ourselves and giving ourselves a little stretch. Lovely. Undo it, let it go. And then the last little wrist stretch we'll do is in prayer hands, and then press the wrist down toward the ground. Again, if you don't have very much, many little gremlins, little tightness in your, not feel like much, but oh boy, do I feel it. probably from having to spend so much of their time at a computer every day, typing away. Last couple of moments. If you want to give it a little extra stretch for the road, you can kind of press extra hard with the right fingers for a moment or two, and then press extra hard with the left fingers for a moment or two. And then let it go. And then lastly, we'll do that one that I learned recently and I stole from somebody else, which is hitchhike your thumbs forward and then tuck the thumbs down and then twist your thumbs downward. Again, getting into some of those little weird places in our forearms that never get any stretch, that can get really tense from typing and writing and using our fingers a lot. Okay. Letting it go. Shake it out. Do anything else that would feel good for your hands. All right. So let's work a little bit on the side a little bit more. So back to this move with our hands on top of the shoulders. Take this left arm up toward the sky. And then we'll do like a kayaking motion. So paddling forward with one flipper, with one oar, and then the other. So the motion that's going on here is a little bit of side to side bending, but there's also a little bit of twisting, and you can exaggerate either one or both of those movements. So really kind of leaning over to one side or really kind of twisting over to one side as you go. Finding what feels good. Your body, if you listen, your body will let you know what would feel nice. Okay, why don't we paddle our kayak in reverse for a few moments? And release. Okay, so that got my spine feeling like it needed a little bit more movement. So let's do one more thing for the spine. Separate your feet just a little bit wider than they already are. And then this is the one where we're drawing kind of like the big circle around our base. So bring the chest forward over here to the right, sweep across to the left, and then back behind you, tucking your abs in. Oh, and then bring it back around. So big circle. Once you feel steady with it, it can get even more creative or more loose or flowing than you started with. So for me, sometimes my shoulders really want to get involved. Find what feels good. Last one's coming up before we take it in the other direction. And let it go. And the last one we'll do is our cow face arms. So this is the one where you reach up really, really high with the right hand. We're going to put the hand here at the base of the neck. I'll turn around so you can see me a little better. Hand goes down here at the base of the neck, and then you swim this left hand around and try your best to bring those fingertips together. They may not happen, and that's more your anatomy than anything else. So if it's not the case, then you can grab opposite ends of your shirt and pull, because the movement we want to make is to send this top elbow back. So, and lift our chest up. That's what helps with the stretch. So lifting the chest up, sending that right elbow back behind you. If all of this just doesn't feel good, the other way to do this stretch is to simply reach across and press your elbow back with the left hand. There's always more than one way to access these stretches that we do in this class, and that's what kind of makes it so much fun and so versatile. The last couple of moments. We'll try it the other way, stretching this left arm up really, really high, and then bringing it to the base of the neck, swimming this right arm out and down, and then trying to grab fingers, but if that doesn't happen, grabbing opposite ends of your shirt, and then sending that left elbow back. All right, so there you go. And there you have it. We spent our long leisurely time with the upper body. So maybe move it around, see if there's anything else that it needs. Check in with your low body, see if there's anything that it needs today. We didn't do anything at all with it, so it may have some requests, some movements that would feel good. And then we will make our way to meditative posture to finish things off. I'm gonna go ahead and come down to my little seat here. And closing your eyes. Allowing your awareness to get into your body and making observations about how all of that moving and breathing and quiet focus on yourself made you feel. And then let's do a little bit more of that breathing exercise that we started off with. You can choose for yourself either taking some big chest breaths or big belly breaths, depending on which one feels like what you need right now. You likely made your own observations at the beginning of class of how those breathing styles made you feel. But if you didn't and you're looking for suggestion, oftentimes people feel like that those big chest breaths are kind of uplifting, invigorating, while those slow, deep belly breaths often help us find our way to a place of calm, even sleepiness sometimes. So finding whichever one you want to revisit and taking at least 5 or 6 of that style of breath, either big chest breaths or big belly breaths. And then whenever you're ready to let that go and just let your breath go back to a regular pace, you may. So allowing your attention to kind of focus more on your current surroundings once more. Tuning into sounds and smells in the room, and then whenever you're ready, letting your eyes open. And that's where we'll take one more big inhale together, sweeping our arms up and overhead, palms meet, and then head to our hearts. So thank you so much. I will see you on Wednesday.